All right, it's time for our AI roundup. Let's talk about Claude Cowork, some real-time AI video, and a couple other things. Ready, Addy?
It's been way too long, Joey. Time for the AI roundup.
Let's get into it. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Denoised roundup time. I've been Addy.
Hey, doing good.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. It's been things are picking back up this week with now that the holidays are over with some new updates.
Seems like the AI researchers do take a break.
I guess they do.
Go on vacation,
or they just know that everyone else is on a break and don't want to hear about it.
They pretend to be on a break.
So I think the coolest one this week is from Claude. Now, you know that I've been a big fan of Claude and Claude Code. I've talked about Claude Code for a long time, but it is a little bit technical. You got to get into Terminal to set it up. But Anthropic just released a preview of what they call Claude Cowork, and it's basically in the Claude app that you would run on your desktop computer, but it's kind of Claude Code for everyone else. It can control your computer, it can manage files, it can access files, build some apps. So it's a lighter weight version of Claude Code, but built for non-coding people. So, marketing, writing, whatever, other things where you wanted to access files and do things on your computer. So it's sort of like the next step of having like a smart AI agent, but that can also do stuff on your computer.
Oh, that's really cool. Have you given it a spin, or where is it at?
I messed with it a bit. So it's in a research preview. You can only use it right now if you have a Claude Max plan, which is the $100 and up a month plan. I mean, I'm sure, what's it called? OpenAI would do this too, and then eventually would open up to everyone else.
It'll come down, yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of what it looks like. It's the Claude app on my computer, and then there's a new tab up top next to chat that says Cowork. And it has, when you say new task, it sort of has some suggested ideas. So create a file, crunch data, make a prototype, draft message.
I'm just thinking if you're a creative person, right? Like whether you're an artist or, even like a editor, colorist, whatever, what have you, VFX artist, how much of this is usable for automation? You have a bunch of really unorganized file name structures, and can this go in?
Exactly. That's actually a pretty good use, because a good use is organize files, and there's another button. It looks like a normal Claude chat experience, but on the bottom, there's a button where you can say work in folder. So you can point it to a specific folder and then give it instructions like organize these files. And then it would look at them and see if there's any duplicates, big files. Maybe you can give it instructions on how to name and rename files. If it's similar to Claude Code, which I'm sure it is, it could also look at images and files and actually make context-aware decisions of what is in the image.
So it's a VLM built in.
Yeah, I mean, Claude's a multimodal model, so it can look at images and, be like, oh, it's a dog. Or if you're put all the dog pictures in one folder and all the cat pictures in another folder, I'm pretty sure it could.
And then go change the metadata tag to dogs or something.
Yeah, it could do that, because I've done that with Claude Code, so I would be pretty sure it could do that. Maybe there's some guardrails right now as they have it in beta, but I'm sure that it'll do that eventually. Because even when I first tested this a few days ago, it seems like they've opened up some more connections. Because another thing I learned recently that's pretty cool is there's a Claude for Chrome plugin. And so that's another, backing up, we have talked about how the different AI companies have sort of launched their own versions of browsers for this sort of agentic web interface where, the browser company has Dia, Perplexity launched Comet, OpenAI launched one, which I don't even remember the name of that one anymore. And so they went the route of we're just going to build a whole brand new browser, and we're going to put the AI agent in there that can help you, do stuff, possibly take control. Dia will take control of your browser and do things. If you're go book me a meeting, it'll kind of do it. Claude took a different approach, and they're we're not going to make our own browser. We're just going to make a Chrome plugin so Claude can run inside Chrome, and then it can kind of do things. And initially it was a little sidebar thing where you could do things in Chrome and talk to Claude. But now I learned this week, Claude, the app on your computer, if you're just in the regular chat thing, it can now connect to Chrome it can connect to Claude Chrome. So if you're in the Claude, just a regular chat, and you're oh, hey, research this thing, or go fill out this form, or I need to access this Google spreadsheet and fill out this data, it will spin up Chrome, sort of like OpenAI's agent thing that we talked about a while ago. And then it'll just this is running on your computer, so it has your logins saved. You're not sending them to a browser. So it's just controlling your local computer version of Chrome and doing whatever it needs to do. So it sort of has turbocharged this agentic feature where it can go access the web right from
It's the window to the world for your local desktop, right? You're just like hooking up the power of the internet to this local desktop compute.
Yeah, and instead of the way that like OpenAI and Manus handles this is they sort of spin up a virtual machine and there's like a virtual browser. But with Claude, it's just sort of running on your computer and it just accesses your regular Chrome browser. So you just log into your stuff.
Also, I think it's really smart for them to offer a plugin to existing Chrome because like, like how many times do you think about switching your browser to a whole new different browser? And you're like, I've been using Chrome for a long time. I'm just going to use that.
Yeah. Because these other browsers are like, they don't have the robustness of the years that Chrome has had already. And that people are used to.
And the Chrome, like, man, Chrome browser is like what underpins basically the last 15 years of the internet revolution, right? Like all of the amazing apps that run on Chrome seamlessly is because Chrome is able to adapt to so many different circumstances and web engines and so on. Like these browsers have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, people have plugins they like. And even though most of these other browsers are built on some version of Chromium, because that's also kind of like the web
That's
OS,
open source, yeah.
The plugins don't always play nicely. So you might have a handful of plugins that you use a lot, and then you try to switch to another browser, and technically you can install them, but they like don't behave the way they're supposed to. And then it kind of gives how you have this dilemma where it's like, well, do I just give up this plugin or do I jump ship and not use this browser? Anyways, it's nice when things are already built into Chrome because like everyone already, for the most part, has Chrome.
Yeah, I mean, one of the items that I'm thinking of is like I need to do some research on a thing that I'm doing, and there's a lot of research material available on YouTube. But I don't have enough time to watch like 15 hours of content.
Yeah.
To like get this agent on a browser to be on my YouTube account and then just consume all of it and then come back with like a summary of like 100 videos or whatnot.
I don't know if it would watch them all, but what it could probably do is spin up like a little app that would extract the transcripts and then, maybe give you a summary that way. I will say, because Google's been integrating Gemini into like everything. And so Gemini's also in Chrome as well, but it's also in YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. And NotebookLM does a good job with YouTube sort of captions.
But YouTube itself, they have that Gemini sidebar, which I've used a lot too, where you can be like, hey, summarize this video or give me the main points. And then it'll also give you a timestamp. So then you can just click on it and then it'll like take you to that thing. So I've used that for like, an hour long interview, but it's like, I know they said this one thing that I really wanted to track down again. And it just tells you where the time code is and you click and you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's I hope nobody uses our videos in that way. I guess it's fine if they do, but
if we have a good resource,
watch it, guys, watch it.
Especially these roundups. If we mention a product that someone's like researching that product and they're like, well, I just want to find out what these guys say about that specific thing. That's handy.
I'm going to throw some keywords out there. So
you throw it off.
The research notes can find us. Qwen 2512, Qwen 2511.
Z-Image.
Z-Image, Z-I-T.
Alibaba. Yeah, so Claude Cowork. I think this is just the start of like unlocking, once people kind of figure it out, a lot of really powerful features and making it much more user friendly and not having to deal with Terminal.
It's very cool. It's definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I've still been living in Terminal. It's just
you have gone ham with Claude Code.
I had to upgrade my max plan. I was on the $100 plan, and then I kept hitting the limits, and then I'm like, I guess I got to do it.
To our viewers, I get these random texts from Joey like, I've just figured out this thing in Claude Code. It's gonna.
Well, the other thing with the cool thing with the web browser is if you're in Claude Code and you're trying to build a little app, because it has web browser control, it can build the app and then it can go launch the app and test the app. And then if the app gets stuck, it'll like solve it. So you could just basically let it run off and it'll start building the app and debugging it and then solving the problem. So I don't have to go mess with the app and then, figure out what the issues are and then tell it. It'll do it on a loop until it like...
It's debugging and iterating on its own. Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
That is like the promise of AI, right? Like doing a lot of that boring stuff for you.
Yeah, and this is stuff I have absolutely no idea how to do normally.
I wouldn't even know how to troubleshoot, web developer code. Yeah.
All right. Next up, what do we got? So this is PixVerse. They launched a real-time AI video generation model.
Oh, real-time is real-time. We're talking real time?
I know we've gotten some comments of like, we should demo this stuff as we talk about it. And I agree with that. And I was going to research and demo this one, but it is on waitlist only right now. So I could not access it.
It's still in vaporware land. I mean, it's nice that we mention it here first. We sort of kind of, figure out what the implications are. And then by the time it gets into our hands, we're ready to test it.
So in this demo, it's like a video generating, sort of like a World War II in the snow, but it's got like new text prompts happening. And as it types the text prompt, the video like instantly changes.
Oh, wow. That's cool, man.
So, I mean, that's what they're saying, like real time.
This is
video.
getting into gaming territory.
That's true. That's true. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. This is where we're, I think this was definitely back on our predictions of just like some forms of real time video generation. The only one we've really seen so far is Krea. Yeah. I mean, that was a little bit different. That one's sort of like moving the shapes, and the sort of shapes react and manipulate the video. This one seems more giving it text prompts and stuff happening as you're prompting it.
I mean, ultimately, I think, where this stuff is going to win is when this can run on a local iPhone, a local sort of device that's super light, and you can run very simple mobile games with just AI, but instead of, the traditional CG limitations of like, having very photorealistic stuff not be possible, in this instance, with something like this, you can have a highly photorealistic mobile game on your device running in real time. Like that is the ultimate holy grail.
For gaming rather than like usefulness for video production or previs or anything like that?
I think definitely more on the gaming side, because that's where the revenue is, that's where the money is. And so that's where a lot of the development will happen. As I always say, as much as I love our market, film and TV, the money and the slice of the pie is just so small. Like that'll be the last thing that they get to.
Yeah, when you were talking about phones, I was thinking where you were going with that was like having this run on a phone or device, and you could film with a real actor or some people, and it's instantly changing, warping them into the fictional world, but with them still driving their performances.
Yeah, again, I don't think it will be for traditional storytelling, like, for example, like a 90-minute film or a 60-minute episode of where you can kind of choose your own adventure. I think that stuff is so niche. Where you would see an application like this is, let's say, a big brand like Coca-Cola, right? They unveil this metaverse-like thing where you can go in and experience things only in that world. And instead of trying to build a metaverse with traditional CG, they're doing this with something like a real-time AI solution.
Yeah, like a side experience thing. I mean, the quality isn't there, but I could see this being useful for like previs or idea generating, and the planning stages for film production. But I see what you're saying with gaming.
Yeah, and then we talked about this on the last episode or 2 episodes ago. Like it all has to tie back into a world model that is persistent. Like you can't, It just can't be a 10-second thing. You got to come back to the things that you walked past, and so on.
And the thing you did there is still there when you did it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Next one. This one's up your alley. We got a new Flux model.
Yes, Black Forest Labs. Yeah, they're back at it again with a new model called FLUX.2 Klein, as in Calvin Klein, no relation. So this one, I just saw initial sort of glimpses of it. Obviously, quality is bonkers. Everything that Black Forest Labs releases, quality-wise, it's bonkers. They don't do low-quality models, but they're unconventional in the way that they architect things and then the way they think about the market. So this, to me, feels like very much a one-to-one with where Z-Image Turbo is today, which is that it's a fairly lightweight model, 13 gigabytes of VRAM, which is nothing. A lot of the older GPUs, I don't know, I think a 1080p or 1080 Ti could probably run this, like from 3-4 years ago. And on top of that, it's open source, and it's really strong with not just text to image, but image to image. And so we're seeing a lot of image models really now do a lot of development and releases on image to image workflows, because it's not just about generating once and then using it. It's about generating once, figuring out what else you need to do, putting it through a model like this, modifying it ever so slightly, and then keep going, keep iterating the way real artists do in any traditional tool, and then finally getting to the output that you want.
And this is built, run local, modified and comfy. So like really like a Z-Image competitor from Black Forest.
Yeah. And to note here, one thing to note, and this goes back to us being big fans of Comfy, is and we have a Comfy update later in the roundup. This is utilizing a lot of the Comfy native nodes. And so this is just going to be easier for everybody to develop on and work on. If you're going to build something on top of this, like if you have a really cool style transfer or some crazy, uncanny thing that you want to build, you're going to use native Comfy nodes, which is probably already existing in your install. And you don't have to hunt and find and download that custom node that this thing uses.
Yeah, and it's easy for sharing workflows and templates, because it's like I've gotten templates and then it's like it used a version of a custom node that's no longer supported, or it's out of date, and you got to try to track it down. Yeah, the more you could just use native built-in stuff, I feel like it's the better, because it's just less room for error or stuff getting out of date or deprecated.
Yep, absolutely. And on the image to image, like what I call image modification, quote unquote, like that stuff, some of the examples look as good as Nano Banana Pro. I mean, you make of it what you will.
I know you've been messing with Z-Image a lot. Are you going to swap this in with some of your workflows and kind of see how this compares with Z-Image?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know exactly how my brain works. I'm always trying to get that extra 2 to 3% increase in quality or increase in speed or whatnot. So I'm always playing around with different tools. So right now, yeah, you're right. I'm heavily down the Z-Image path, and we have a couple of episodes for you on that stuff. Yeah. I'm going to take some of that, convert it over to Flux, Klein. I'm sorry, I just can't help it. It's just so easy to make fun of it.
You're actually going to meet them and be like, I love your Calvin Klein model. They're going to be like, what are you talking about?
Do you guys sell underwear or AI models?
You're talking about real models, right? Not AI models.
Right.
All right, we got to report back once you test. Do a comparison with this in Z-Image.
You got it.
All right. Also from our other favorite open source world, terrible names again, but there's another update with Qwen Image Edit 2511. Multiple angles LoRa. So basically, it is a add-on for Qwen Image Edit, but it specifically is designed to you give it a source image, and you can get output images of different angles, camera perspectives of that source image. And it gives you the control over sort of what angle and rotation you're trying to get with that, quote, virtual camera control.
I love it. This is one of the hardest problems to solve in image and video generation. Even though Google Nano Banana VO is somewhat decent at this problem, we do need a model that is specifically designed to tackle this.
Yeah, it's decent, but as we covered in that Nano Banana kind of demo, it's it's okay if you want to talk about moving the camera in a prompt in Nano Banana, but if you're reverse angle or other angles, with the specificity, it doesn't do a great job at that. And this has actual, maybe it's not, maybe I'm thinking of another thing, but this has 96 camera pose support, so 4 different elevations, 8 azimuths, and 3 distances.
Oh, you said azimuths. You lost me at azimuth. I'm sorry. What is this, Apollo 13? Why are we talking about azimuths?
That's the thing. That's the other angle thing.
Listen, nerd talk while we're doing the nerd talk. When it comes to changing camera angles, the issue is it's not deterministic. This is on the realm of becoming deterministic, truly having a repeatable, consistent way for you to change camera angles.
Wait, so you're saying good or bad? What are you saying? What are you saying?
I lost you at deterministic, didn't I? Yeah. So, a computer graphics workflow where you have a virtual camera and you're moving that camera in 3-dimensional space is 100% deterministic. You can accurately predict where that camera is going to go, the output you're going to get, the camera angle you're going to get. You can repeat that 5 years from now and get the same thing, right? AI models are not that yet. So this is pushing into the land of deterministic.
Yeah, so good. So in the good bucket.
So good. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I think this is it does one thing, but this is something that's really needed for the stuff we do, where it's here's my image, I need to move my thing this way. Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll do all my finessing in ZIT or I can jump from model to model. That's not a problem.
Yeah. And if it does it accurately and look at this. Got this dog nailed.
It does look a little soft even in the demo, so we'll need to run it through an upscaler and a detail enhancer and all that stuff.
Yeah, or it's a good, this could be a combo with still a Nano Banana or other workflow where it's if I shift my camera and then it gets good enough to give me the angle and the information that I need, then you could still run it again and upscale or enhance the details, but at least you have that base image of the angle that you do want.
Very cool. And I know we're not covering this, but I believe Qwen also has a version of this called 2512. Yeah, so the big release is the Qwen 2512 image model. Qwen is already like a sweetheart of the open source world. And then the offshoot of the 2512 model is this camera changing 2511.
I just remember also seeing a headline too. I think we had this in the newsletter the other week, but it was basically that Alibaba's Qwen family of models hit 700 million downloads to lead the global open source AI adoption. It is the most popular open source model.
Wow, that's a lot of downloads, because if you think about how many people are actually messing around with AI using Comfy and so on, not that many. So this is probably literally everybody that's messing around with ComfyUI.
Yeah, well, because basically you're like, oh, hey, it's like the closest thing you can get to like an Adobe Banana Pro, but free, and you can run it on your system or run it on, build it in however you want.
It could be a lot of device downloads. Maybe some of the stuff is already running on the cloud and things like that. So when you want to populate a server farm with Qwen image, you're downloading like 2,000 at a time.
Oh, I see. You're just like a bunch of instances already just downloaded.
Yeah, because there can't be 700 million people messing around with AI, and that seems far too.
And this specific model, which I know for certain. Right. I'd be surprised if 700 million people know about Now to Banana.
Like Netflix has, I think, something like 300 million subscribers, and Spotify has 700 million subscribers. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's people, it's downloads.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was I remember seeing that. That was interesting to see how fast it's grown. I feel like, because we've talked about what is the business model of free, and I think it's like, I realize it's sort of like the Unreal Engine business model, where it's like free to use, free to download, come mess around with it. But they know it's like, once you scale up, you're gonna need servers, you're gonna need more infrastructure. And so if Alibaba's an option, like that's something that could spin up and run it for you, or their cloud compute service. So it's like, hey, come download and test it out for free. And then once you need to scale, like that's where they make the money. Yeah,
to clarify, the way Unreal used to work, and I think they slightly changed this, is all of the non-commercial use is free. So like you and me use it to do this podcast, whatever, it's free. And the minute you turn the Unreal Engine a scene into a product that's out there making money, so like let's say you build a game on it, then they can come after 5% of that game revenue.
Yeah, so it'd be slightly different than that, but in the idea of like, hey, we're going to give you free unrestricted use of this product.
Yep.
There's no features that are paywalled. Come use it for free, but once you are trying to push to another level, then we're going to make money off that.
It's a really smart thing to do, because it builds like this creative community, builds allegiance to your product, and your product then gets tested and hardened over the years. And then finally, the people that are amateurs and hobbyists grow up to be professionals in real companies, and then they use that thing to build something incredible. And then all of a sudden, now you're making money. It's a long play, but I think it's a smart one.
I mean, we talked about this before. I think it's the same thing that Resolve did with, Blackmagic did with Resolve.
The studio versus
solid,
the free.
Full-fledged. Yeah, the free version is still really powerful. People learn how to use it. Then they become professional editors, and they're very comfortable on Resolve.
And on top of that, what Blackmagic was really smart to do was to continue to invest in Resolve and just build the crap out of it, right? Like, they never stopped innovating on Resolve.
Yeah, especially after adding the editing features.
Yeah, and the same thing that Epic Games does is like every 3 or 4 months, there's a new Unreal version, and it's better and better and better. Like, they're not going to really stop that.
I didn't have it in the lineup, but also, now that we're talking about Resolve, this also reminded me of another update that was actually pretty significant, that Apple has basically launched their own. It's pretty much a competitor to Adobe Creative Cloud. It's Apple Creator Studio, and it's a monthly or yearly subscription. I think it's like $130 a year, and it bundles all of their creative products into one package. So Final Cut, Compressor, Motion, Logic, and then the Keynote pages, that kind of stuff.
I'm going to quote Omar from The Wire on this. You ready? Come at the king, you best not miss.
Or is that a message for Apple coming at Adobe?
Yeah, if you're coming at Adobe Creative Cloud, which is the king of Creative Suite, and if you get it wrong, you're irrelevant the next day.
I mean, I know there's just so much annoyance at Adobe for their pricing and the monthly subscription and the costs, and like, people are annoyed, and I don't really know if they're going to switch to Apple, because I feel like people who would have switched to Apple would have switched to Final Cut would have already done so. Like Final Cut's been
dead for a while, right?
No, I mean they still keep developing it. Look, I love Final Cut, the new version. It's just no one uses it, so like it's hard. I can't integrate with other editors with it. But as an actual editing product, it's great. If you really forget everything you knew about Final Cut 7 and erase that from your memory and treat it as a new editor, it's a great editor. It has a lot of they added a lot of things that everyone else ripped off later, like the magnetic timeline skimming and be able to sort of like skim your clips in the media pool. But yeah, I mean, they nuked 7 and it took years for it to reach a level that could fit in a professional pipeline. And by then everyone left, went to Adobe or, and then Resolve became a viable option.
Right. Well, one advantage that Apple has that Adobe does not is the Apple Silicon, right? Like the M4, M5 chips are outperforming, NVIDIA GPUs and things like that. Like they're low power, they're ultra fast. And if you combine that with like a seamless user experience, that's really powerful.
Yeah, Final Cut runs great. I mean, also their new, what's it called? Magnetic masking. I know it's not actually called that. I'm mixing up product names, but their AI masking feature is like really solid. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff going, but it's still, I think the price point is easy enough for, if you're looking at $130 a year for like the whole product suite, versus
Creative Cloud is more expensive than that.
Creative Cloud, depending on what level you're on and everything, but that's like
close to $1,000 a year,
$500-$600 probably on the cheap end,
right?
$1,000 on a more expensive end. I think same long term play. If you're a student, obviously the Final Cut is a much more appealing option that can do a lot of stuff for you. Oh, it also includes Pixelmator, which is a company they bought last year. Did they buy it last year?
Yeah, what is that?
Which is like a popular iPad drawing app.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, so with like a stylus, it's like Photoshop with a stylus kind of thing.
Yeah, Pixelmator, photo, video, vector graphic editor. Maybe it runs on Mac desktop as well. But yeah, so that's sort of the Illustrator Photoshop bucket. Yeah, sorry, what were you saying? Oh, hey, sorry. Look, I just noticed something. College students, it is $30 a year.
Oh, that's
for the entire
brilliant
bundle.
That's how you build the future subscription base. Get them hooked really early.
Like $30 for the entire thing is a no-brainer.
Some college kids like, that's too much.
Yeah, but that's still pretty. That's a pretty good deal.
That's incredible.
And also, Apple did the Smart Play too, where it's like they didn't cut off buying it outright. So you can still buy the individual products. The only thing is, if you want the new AI features, like there's more AI transcript features in Final Cut and some other AI features, the AI stuff is, I think, only available in the subscription
Makes sense.
Bundle.
Of course.
But if you still wanted to just, $300 buy Final Cut and you own it, they didn't get rid of that. So, they're keeping kind of both sides at play, which is smart because I think people are tired of subscriptions.
Yeah. Apple has been low-key, been building on-device AI models, right? Like some of them are really good. So I'm wondering how much of this is on-device versus cloud-based for the AI inference.
Yeah, good question. I would think the transcript would be on-device,
right? Because
they have pretty good text-to-speech that runs even on your phone, and then they also have visual search, so it can scan your footage and you can search for objects and stuff.
Did you say Pixelmator? And did I say that right?
Pixelmator, yeah.
So imagine hooking up Pixelmator to a structural image generator model where you can influence by sketch what you are trying to generate. Like that would be a pretty cool application.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I mean, look, on the why I'd be hesitant to go fully back to Apple, like there have been questions, about how dedicated they are to the pro market, with Apple, with the Mac Pros and what they're going to keep developing, Final Cut 7, they completely nuked, and that they were pretty much the industry leader for editing. And they also had Aperture, which was like a really popular sort of Lightroom equivalent, like photo management app, and they killed that. So it's kind of like that Google issue too, where they're like such a big company and these are like such a small portion of like their revenue that they could also like, if they just get bored or don't want to go after the pro market anymore, they could just cut it.
Yeah, you and I can talk about Apple for a whole episode. I will say this one last thing on Apple is, to me, it feels like, of course, they don't want to go after the pro market, like the highest end of the pro market, the film and TV market. That's not where the money is.
Yeah.
I think they know where the money is the creator economy. Like there is millions and millions of people that are making videos, cutting videos, making songs. They're not the most professional by any means, but they're definitely going to be using some of this stuff.
Yeah. And even the imagery look, it's called Creator Studio.
Right.
Not like Creator
Economy.
It's not Pro Studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The images, it looks like a creator, creator. Yeah, I think your targeting's right on point.
Yeah.
All right, last one, Comfy.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So Comfy, if you guys are listening, you're doing a great job. Just keep being you. All right. You're banging it out. So there are nodes that you can build in Comfy, which Joey has tried to do with Claude Code, sounds like. And that's a pain in the butt.
Some success, yeah.
For the average person. So there are nodes that are built into Comfy. Is it called native Comfy nodes? There's like a name for it.
Comfy Core.
Comfy Core. That's it. Thank you. So Comfy Core nodes continue to be, more and more substantial. And so these are two of the newest nodes, the preprocessor and frame interpolation nodes. And this stuff is really hard to build on your own.
Now, these are things that already existed, right? But you'd have to get them as a plugin, like pose node.
Yeah, exactly.
And frame. Like these were things you could have done, but it would be like the pose estimator where it tracks the person in the video and gives you like the pose animation.
Yeah, when we did our Comfy episode the last time, I think, you remember the WAN 2.2 episode you and I did? I was using a DW pose estimator node in there. And that came from Kijai. Like Kijai built it.
Right. Which he makes great stuff, very popular stuff. But it's like that's an extra. Like if you were to share that workflow with me, I would load up your workflow, and then I would get like some red boxes because I don't have his specific node installed. And it's gotten better to find and download missing nodes, but sometimes I've had this issue with like McMuppets workflows where it's like, oh, that node they switched and it's no longer supported. You should use this node, and then it's like, well, the workflow is pretty much useless now because I can't get the node that's missing.
Yeah, and then you go look for the node on Hugging Face or whatnot, and then you find out that it's been deprecated, like the repo doesn't exist anymore, and then now the workflow is useless. So this prevents some of that, and these are very sort of lowest common denominator nodes. Like this can work for any video workflow to like interpolate frames, so you can add motion blur or go from regular frames per second to slow motion and so on, but like that's on you to do. So you don't have to do the hard part of actually extracting the individual frames at whatever fractional frame rate.
Yeah. And then these are built into the Comfy default install. So if someone else just installs Comfy, you share the workflow, they've got the nodes already. You don't have to worry about stuff not being there. It's got normals extraction too.
Yeah, normals that's huge.
I'm curious how I'm curious how that compares to like Beeble and stuff.
You could potentially build a Beeble workflow with Comfy, right? Like the value out of Beeble is it's already done for you. It's a product. You just go pay for it and use it. But if you wanted to, you can build it in Comfy.
Yeah, I've heard of or seen some stuff of like relighting Comfy workflows.
Right. Yeah. There's a ton of that. Well, this is another win for the open source AI creator community. So hats off.
All right. That's pretty much it for this week's roundup. Links for everything talked about at denoisedpodcast.com.
If you have suggestions for this year's episodes, some of the ones that are outside the AI roundup, let us know in the comments what you like us to talk about. We're super curious to know.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you in the next episode.